The suitcase, heavier than she expected, made her stumble slightly when her fingers gripped the handle. Her knuckles went pale, and she almost lost her balance. The brief flash of surprise was enough to make every second I spent preparing for this moment feel justified. She forced a laugh, trying to mask her discomfort. "Did you pack bricks in here?" she asked, her eyes darting to me, looking for some kind of reaction. I didn't give her one. I kept my expression neutral, offering only a slight shrug. "You have everything you need," I said, my voice calm and controlled. This wasn't just any trip. It was the culmination of everything I'd discovered. She hesitated for a moment, just long enough for me to catch the flicker of uncertainty. Then, she plastered on the smile she'd been practicing for months. "You're so thoughtful," she whispered, brushing a cold kiss across my cheek. I didn't return it. I watched her roll the suitcase toward the door, the wheels squealing with the effort. As soon as her car was out of sight, I exhaled. Showtime. Her name was Sarah. 7 years of marriage. 9 if you count everything before. We had our routines, our jokes, the life we'd built together. At least, that's what I thought. But that all changed 3 months ago, the night her phone lit up while she was in the shower. I wasn't snooping, but the message caught my eye. "Can't wait to see you this weekend. I've missed you so much, James." James. I didn't know a James. No friend, no colleague, no one. My stomach churned, but I didn't act on impulse. I'd learned a long time ago that knee-jerk reactions only left you with regret. I needed answers, and I wasn't going to let her find a way out. For weeks, I played my role. Smiles, small talk, pretending everything was normal while I gathered the truth. I placed a keylogger on her laptop, took screenshots, saved every message, every email, and made note of hotel receipts from the nights she claimed to be working late. One night, I even followed her to a luxury hotel downtown. So predictable. She never suspected I was following her every move. When she announced a weekend getaway with the girls, I nearly laughed out loud. It was too perfect, too rehearsed. The shifting schedules, the subtle changes in her behavior, the faint scent of a cologne I didn't recognize on her blouse. I told her to enjoy herself. "You deserve a break. I'll keep busy here." She looked relieved, almost smug. Arrogance, wrapped in a smile. I packed a different kind of bag for the weekend. A bag filled with proof. Photographs, screenshots, hotel receipts. The truth that would shatter the world she thought she controlled. James lived in a penthouse downtown. I knew the place well. I'd been there enough times. Late 30s, tailored suit, expensive watch. He was the kind of guy who never imagined the husband would be the one confronting him. Sarah's car was already parked out front, crooked from her rush. I waited an hour, long enough for them to get comfortable. Then, I walked up, knocked on the door. James answered with a grin that faltered the moment he saw me standing there. "Can I help you?" he asked, his voice unsure. "Oh, I think you can," I said, stepping inside without invitation. "You and I need to have a little chat." Sarah appeared in the hallway, eyes wide, clutching her robe like it could shield her from what was coming. "What are you doing here?" she asked, her voice trembling. I didn't look at her. My eyes were fixed on James. "You know who I am, don't you?" He swallowed, his composure cracking. "I think you should leave." I couldn't help but laugh. "Oh, I will, but not before we talk." I dropped my bag onto the coffee table and opened it. Pictures, messages, receipts, emails, everything spilled out like a flood of broken promises. James' face drained of color as he flicked his gaze between the evidence and Sarah. "You really thought you could get away with this, didn't you?" I asked, my voice growing colder. "You thought I wouldn't find out?" "Please," Sarah whispered, her voice shaking. "Let's talk about this in private." I turned toward her, fury simmering beneath the surface. "Private? Where was that when you were sleeping with him?" Her eyes welled up with tears, but I didn't soften. Don't you dare cry, Sarah. You made your bed. Now you lie in it. James seemed to shrink before me. Look, man, I didn't. I cut him off. Save it. I don't care about your excuses. But your wife deserves the truth. You've been lying to her just like you've been lying to me. His face went pale. What? Oh, yeah, I said, a cruel smile creeping onto my lips. I'm going to make sure she knows exactly who you are. Please don't, Sarah begged, her voice cracking. I turned away and grabbed my bag. Before I left, I turned back to James. If I ever hear you go near my wife again, I'll make sure your entire company knows what kind of man you really are. The door slammed behind me, and the silence that followed was deafening. The fallout came swiftly. I sent every shred of evidence to James' wife the next morning with a simple message. I'm sorry for the pain. You deserve the truth. By the next day, she filed for divorce. Within a week, the news spread through his company. He was forced to resign. Sarah came to me, begging, crying, trying to explain herself. But the papers were already signed. She left my life with nothing but the clothes on her back. It wasn't easy, not by a long shot. But as I stood in the silence of my empty house, the weight of her betrayal finally lifted. I'd lost a wife, yes, but I'd gained something far more valuable, my freedom.